Bro, what if I told you that you should be smashing as many chicks as possible? It's an interesting take. You see, I used to be a guy who was completely clueless about dating and thought that I could moonwalk my way through it once I decided to try. When that turned out to be false, I would spend years in the trenches trying to figure out how to close a single date. But once I did, I went on an absolute rampage before I found my current girlfriend. There's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to other people giving you dating advice. You have former OF models telling you to be more conservative, and guys who had hoe phases telling you to not do the same. I'm here to tell you that you need to figure out what your dating goal is and do what's best for you to achieve it. I don't have any regrets on how far I went with pursuing dating success. If anything, I regret not learning these things sooner and actually wished that I had succeeded more. So while you don't have to go sleeping around with as many women as possible, here are 3 key reasons on why I chose not to limit myself in that aspect, and what you can learn from them. The first reason is my approach to the idea of dating being a numbers game. Yes, volume means a lot when it comes to dating, but I've also found that dating is a game of odds. When you're a regular guy who's completely out of the picture by not talking to any girls, not being on any apps, or by being on monk mode, your opportunities for dating are practically zero. But if you're present out there in some shape or form, but don't know what you're doing, you're in the game, but it will feel like you're playing the lottery. And let's be real general about the stats. About 50% of men are single, and about 30% of men aren't getting any action. About 30% of adults have used the dating app in recent years, and using years of knowledge and anecdotal evidence, I estimate that about 50% of men on dating apps don't know what the hell they're doing and have little to no matches because of it. And all of these percentages are going to keep rising as modern dating continues to push people to seek connections online instead of in person. So what this means is that if you're not putting yourself out there by interacting with girls or using dating apps, you are greatly limiting the amount of exposure you have to potential options and are missing out on tons of opportunities. But as I said earlier, dating is also a game of odds, and you can greatly increase your odds of getting more and better options by upgrading your fashion, getting higher quality pictures of yourself, and crafting a profile that's much more appealing than before. That's when things start being determined more by skill rather than luck. And you need to remind yourself that when it comes to the numbers, you need to focus on the results, not the statistics. I've matched with 1,000+ girls, went on dates with more than 100 of them, and closed more than half of my dates over the years I've been on dating apps. If I were to statistically summarize my online dating history, then I would say that I had positive interactions with around 10% of girls that I interacted with, closed 5% of them, and saw long-term potential with about 1% of them. And I'm being real generous with those numbers. Not to mention that by being on the apps, my profiles will have been exposed to tens, if not hundreds of thousands of female users in multiple American cities, meaning that I was not swiped on or liked by the vast majority of them. So in the grand calculus of the Tinderverse, I only ever interacted with somewhere between 1 to 10% of all potential women that my profiles were exposed to, and only had good interactions with, at best, up to 10% of them. And again, I'm being real generous with those numbers. Someone with 100 IQ but 0 EQ will see these numbers, think they're abysmal, and make that good reason for themselves to not even try. But in actuality, these are great numbers because while the percentages are low, the volume is extremely high. You'd be stupid to decline being able to work with less than 10% if that 10% happened to be 100,000 people. And that context translating to real life would be me having numerous conversations daily that can convert into multiple dates per week. And the last thing about dating being a numbers game is that no matter how great the odds are, nothing is guaranteed in this game. A match doesn't guarantee a date, and even if I set up a date, that doesn't mean I'm guaranteed a lay. I still have to play things out and see what happens. I have no idea if the next person I go out with is a perfect match or a complete dud. And as we look to set things up or get things into motion, recognize that every micro decision matters. Throughout those many dates that I went on, I had to continuously test the effectiveness of things that I said or did. I built my messaging and first date frameworks from the ground up by assessing what worked and what didn't from interactions with numerous types of women. And it got to the point where I was mostly successful in either closing dates or exposing disinterest. But even then, things could end in the blink of an eye over trivial matters. I can be close to setting up a date and get ghosted over something I said. I could do something on a date that works on someone else, but instantly destroys the vibe for this particular girl. You can't predict everything, as dating is a highly irrational aspect of life. The details of things that you do matter, and you can always be within a margin of victory or defeat. It feels like I'm the only one who knows that. Sometimes it'll be something you have no control over. but at other times, it will be your fault. You have to be able to discern between the two. I've been the guy who gets last second flaked on, but also the guy who took a girl back to her place and then kissed and dipped because of inexperience. I had to become ready to assume responsibility for every part of an interaction to ensure the best odds for success. So what you need to understand about dating being a numbers game is that there are no guarantees to anything here, but you can always increase your odds of success by putting in the right effort and developing a solid game plan based on doing things that work. How can we even talk about sleeping with as many women as possible when there are a lot of men who struggle to just get to one? And how can you get to that one if you don't understand how to maximize your odds for success and place emphasis on developing your processes? And speaking of which, if you want some help on doing that, you can check out the links in the description below. Moving on, the second reason why I didn't limit myself was because I learned how to put what I wanted first and how to deflect any deterring noise. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you don't have to have the goal of sleeping with as many women as possible, but you have to define your dating goal along with your morals and values and figure out the best means of achieving it. And if you learned anything from the first point, you should realize that maximizing the amount of opportunities you get is the best strategy for playing the game overall. You don't want to hedge all of your hopes and dreams on a single person, and you should be giving yourself leverage to determine the best option for you. Like if you're the religious type and want to save yourself from marriage, then that's fine. I'm not here to tell someone to act against what they believe in. Just understand that the type of person who will fit those standards is going to be extremely difficult and rare to find. But I'm not religious at all, so I'm not that guy. I'm someone who takes things as they are without imposing further expectations. I tried to date the wholesome way, and all I got out of that was burned. So I had to learn to be more assertive and accept acting upon my desires. And you know what? I did it for me. I liked it. I was good at it. And I really was alive. And unlike some of the other people who talk about it, I don't look back at this period of my life with sadness or sentiment. Sure, there were irresponsible choices that I made or women that I regret meeting, but I am content with how it all went. I had self-control. I took care of things in my life during the day and slotted in dates at night. I'd set things up on my terms and communicated expectations when needed. I had full awareness of what I was doing, vetted my options thoroughly, used protection, took precautions, and in the end, most of my interactions were as inconsequential as a daily workout. I took these opportunities to have fun, learn more about my physical capabilities, and practice my riz. And what's crazy is that there will always be people that say that they have your best interests in mind while imposing their morals and values onto you. When you're a guy who's struggling to get dates, there will be people who first feel sorry for you and then they'll pity you. They'll tell you to just be yourself, that you'll eventually find what you're looking for, and whatever else you need to hear to cope. But these people don't give a shit about you or want to help you figure things out. All they care about is feeding your coke machine to make themselves feel better from their high horse. Anyone that gives you impersonal advice or imposes their own morals and values that you disagree with is actively enabling you to keep failing. When I was struggling, I didn't want pity, I wanted answers. I just had someone comment on a short of mine saying that it's toxic and harmful to promote going after first date late, despite the fact that it solved my dating problem. It just goes to show that there are people who'd rather see you as nice but harmless and sexless than a guy who takes control of their dating life. If you're not having success in dating, you need to be honest and critical of yourself and figure out why. And then you need to stop feeding the coke machine and start taking the right actions so you can find success for yourself. You need to do what's best and right by you. And the third reason for why I didn't want to limit myself is that I recognize that it's my life that changes for the better when I succeed. My dating journey was difficult because I had to do it all by myself. My dad never taught me how to be a man, my friends never taught me how to socially calibrate, and the people I sought help from never looked me in the eye to tell me exactly what I was doing wrong and what I could be doing better. I had to be my own advocate, therapist, and consultant. I had to be exactly who I needed many years ago, and I became all the better for it. I developed undeniable self-confidence and reduced my social anxiety heavily. I created abundance for myself and had escapades that most guys can only dream about. And at the end of it all, I found and chose someone who absolutely adores me as my ideal partner. And even though I'm out of the game, I still share what I've learned with guys that need it, because I recognize that this huge knowledge gap exists, and I see the significance of helping them get their dating lives sorted out. I became the person I needed all of those years ago, and what I know is too valuable to just waste. I helped Steven, who was an optometrist who also put up dating until his late 20s, instantly get abundance with dating and have a meet-to-meet moment within a few weeks. And I've helped many others get their dating lives off the floor and start getting options so they can start working towards fulfilling whatever their hearts desire. If someone like me wasn't involved, who knows where these guys would still be today? Is it more toxic to teach men how to get their shit together, or to just keep enabling them to fail by helping them cope? Like, this shit is important, yo. Guys are losing their entire lives over not getting women or committing to the wrong ones, and some even go as far as taking it out on others. A lot of men are discouraged from dating now, and male escapist ideas like MGTOW and becoming a passport bro are constantly gaining more relevance. Learning how to succeed in modern dating is more necessary than ever to get a fulfilling life as a man today. I'm not going to sugarcoat things, man. You have to stop letting people speak for you. You have to stop letting those who have had their fill deter you from getting yours. But you have to determine for yourself what you really want to do and make that decision on your own. You have just one life to live. Do you want to just find that one person to complete your life? Or do you want to go crazy and have yourself a gardening tool season? Whatever it is that you want, put your mind to it. Devote yourself wholly to your mission. And I hope that you succeed in finding what you're looking for. So that's it for this video. If you're still here, I appreciate you as always, and you should like, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to sign up for my exclusive community to get based in more dates, and apply to work with me one-on-one if you want the fast track to getting your dating life sorted out. As always, stay based and don't let people shame you for wanting to clap some cheeks. Bye-bye.